Hello everyone, welcome to the video. In this video, we'll be doing reactive front end with Sutil. Alright, so in the last video, we did a lot of templating, kind of doing the layouts. We finished at about doing that first section for the portfolio. And now we're going to continue, and this is going to involve actually doing some reactive programming with Sutil. So there wasn't really many binding statements or using stores or using the model and the update function. And so we're going to do that in this video. Keep in mind, so I'm recording this after I did the next few episodes, so I have a bit more knowledge about Sutil, and me and Dave we were working through how to make less boilerplate, and so you'll see that there is quite a decent amount of boilerplate with Sutil for now. Just keep that in mind that it's a work in progress. We're looking at how can we make it more succinct. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, that you're going to feel that it's going to be a lot more boilerplate than you're probably used to if you're using something like Fable Elmish or Felice or something like that. So keep that in mind, but still, it was really fun working with it, so I'm very happy with it. And yeah, we're going to jump in. Leave a like if you're enjoying the content, and commenting really helps the algorithm out, so any comment will work. Thanks, and enjoy. Now let's do the buttons, and like I said, there's going to be two buttons here on the left. Well, they're going to be like button. They're going to look like buttons, but they're going to be anchor tags. And so let's go ahead and do that. So here I have my percentage span we're doing here on the left. So let's do the let buttons is equal to, let's do level. So it's going to be a level item, or they're going to be, both of them going to be level items. Let button, don't really need to do this like this, but I'm just going to do it for now. So level dot item, inside the item, I'm just going to do unit for now, just to remove that squiggly line. Yeah, so inside this item, there's going to be a bulma dot button. Let's see what this renders. So let's just check that out. Okay, so let's check the source, what it generates. So it generates a button. I would like more an anchor tag that looks like a button. And so, well, actually this is fine. Actually, we don't really need an anchor tag. We just can have a button. Because it's not going to do href or anything. It's just going to do something on click. So that's fine. So it's going to be positions. So yeah, we're not going to do this button thing. We're going to keep it like this. This is useless. Yeah, so our button, there's one that's going to be positions, and then another one, it's going to be balances. Maybe just selected would be good. Yeah, let's do the styling. At this point, I don't think we can postpone not having a model, so let's do that. Well, we started the model, but we have to develop it a little bit, so we're going to have a, showing or selected pane. Yeah, I'm not sure how to call this. For me, this is like a kind of a pane. Whatever, so just gonna go with that. So selected pane in this case is, we have to create a type for this. So type summary info, and it can either be positions, or it can be balances. So we can have a summary info here. And by default, it's going to be the positions. Okay. Model update's not doing anything for now.
but that will soon change. And if I go P&L elements, level, eventually we're going to have to start to break up everything in other modules because it's getting kind of cluttered. And at this point we have to make a store. So let's do that store. Model dispatch is equal to store dot make Elmish simple. So here you have make Elmish, and eventually we'll move on to this where we're gonna work with commands, but we don't like really need commands for now. I'm just gonna use Elmish simple. I'm gonna pass init, update, and ignore, and unit. This ignore thing is if we need to dispose anything. Yeah, disposing the model. But we can actually do it here. So at the top here, we need to unmount the model, or dispose on unmount, is what I meant to say. So basically, observables are disposable, or at least the store is disposable in this case. I have a few, in this case, I want a store, so I want an observable, selected pane store, is equal to model dot, and I want to map, so store dot map, and we're gonna pass it a function m dot selected pane. So here what we're doing is we have this iStore of model, and we want to get just this will return an observable here, so an observable of summary info. So basically this is kind of like I was saying earlier, like the Excel cell. So to explain what a store is, it's very similar to an observable. So it actually inherits from observable and inherits from iDisposable. But the nuance is that it can be updated. So it's kind of like an observable is, you can think about it as like a read-only cell. A store is an observable that you can update its value directly, right? So that's just, it has these values extra, or these members extra. And so if we go back here, we generate an observable with the store.map, right? So there we go. And we probably have to, so one thing that's important is by default, if eventually I'll have subfields in here, so I'll have like of whatever, and I'll have more info on there. But the thing is the day that I have that, so the day that this object has more things in it, so like int or whatever, I don't want to regenerate this box if items under that box change. So basically what I'm trying to say is I only want to notify my dependents if the value has changed, if the value has changed. Like it's one thing to say, hey, there's like something changed, but I want to make sure the value is different from the last value. So this is what store.distinct does. And so now that we have the store, we can pass it to our main section. And I'm kind of thinking, maybe we should pass the whole model to the main section. That would probably be better, so we can localize this this observable. So I'm gonna pass the whole thing here, and this section is gonna take a model, and we're going to pass the model to the content view, and then the content view, we're going to pass it to the level, and then the level, we're going to so here is where, so I can probably do it before this, So this content view, so you can imagine, depending on the page, we're going to have multiple pages at one point. And so this store that I just created is only relevant on the account page. And so the day we're going to make other pages, we're going to change that. It's going to be easy fix, to be honest. So here I'm going to, the content view is here, I'm going to create the store or the observable if you want. So here, and I can pass this to the level, and I can call this selected pane store. Okay, and it's not going to pick up on what it is for now, but that's fine. And so what I want here is basically both of these are going to bind on the store pane. So every time the selected store pane changes, we're going to have to assign the is selected or the selected CSS class that we're going to create. We haven't created it yet, but so if you do bind, we can actually do bind class. I'm still learning what the methods are in this thingy, but this wants an observable of bool, so we can create an observable of bool. We can create more observables with this observable, so we can map this. Let is positions selected is equal to selected pane store, and I'm not sure if it's store.map in this case. We should probably type this so we know for sure. So store.map works in this case, and then the function I'm going to pass is I'm actually just going to pattern match. If it's in the case that it is positions, I want to return true. Else I want to return false. So the function keyword, just a reminder, is a point-free version of pattern matching, which in this case is pretty helpful, to be honest. And so we can do the same thing here, but we can do balances, right? And so we do is balances selected. There's probably a better way to do this, but I'm kind of new at working with these observables, so I'm still working out the design patterns here, but it's fine. Okay, so I can bind this button, or I can bind a class. Now I can use bind class. Okay, and so basically this button will take this button will take this observable, and so I'll pass it here, and then button will take a parameter that is called is selected store, and then we'll pass bind class here, and it's going to be the store, and we're going to give it the CSS class that it wants. So in this case, so basically what I'm saying here is if this observable is true, I'm going to give it this CSS class, and if it's not, then I won't. So we should probably define what this selected is going to look like. And so here, rule, and do button dot, or it's going to be button dot button, because I believe we have the Bulma there on default, button dot button dot selected. And so in CSS, it's better to be more precise than not, to avoid exclamation mark important everywhere. It's kind of the general good practice. And then the background color for the selected is going to be, let's get like a green color or no. So our colors right now are gray. What could be like a nice vibrant color? Let's do, I like, to be honest, I like purple in this case. Purple is my brand color, I guess. Or let's, I'll find it in the code what's my color. Looks kind of nice, but the text has to be different. Should probably be white. Cool. And you know, it's kind of boom like that. Good. That's good enough. So yeah, it seems to be working. If I change the default selection, so this should change the color. Boom, that's good. That's good. We like that. We like things that work. And we can change the update loop. So we can add a message on click. Let's do that. And so on this button, on click. Now we need a dispatch function. So we need to pass dispatch to this button. Event is going to be dispatch, which I don't have access to for now, but, and then selected changed. Selected pane changed. I'm gonna look at the documentation for a sec, just see how it's normally done. Yeah, so I have it right here. There's this extra thing that to be honest, I don't really understand why there's a prop thingy here. Event modifier list. I have no idea what that is, but hey, let's just pretend. So let's pass a dispatch here, and we need an event. So this will be our first message. So our message is going to be selected pane changed, I guess, or selected. And it's going to take a summary info. And so here we can update this now. So the update function, what it does is it matches on incoming messages. And depending on the update on the incoming message, in this case, it's going to be a summary info. So when I receive this type of message, what do I want to do? I want to create a new model. Well, to be honest, we can check, you know, if summary info is not equal to model dot selected pane, then we're going to return a new model, and so we're going to make a copy of the model, and we're going to update the selected pane equal to this new summary info that we just received. If not, we're going to return the model. That should work. That's good. Cool. And the last thing is this should totally be defined, unless oh yeah, I didn't do that. Boom, and we need to pass it the summary info. So we need to pass the summary info here as well. Or to be honest, we can just, oh, there's a good thing. Nah, this is kind of risky. I don't want to use reflection for nothing. But one thing we can do is, so type summary info, we can have a helper function here that just returns the name. Yeah, so I'll do like so we can basically override the toString. Or to be honest, we could just use the toString for now. No, I want my custom toString because the day I add more stuff to this, it's going to screw up the toString. So I'm just going to call it name, and I'm going to pass it summary info, and this will be equal to match summary info I could have done it point free, but I think it's better just to do it this way. So if it's positions, then do positions. And like I said, I can use the toString for now, but I'm kind of skeptical, not skeptical, because I know I'm going to add more data, and that's just going to change what the toString returns, and I don't really like that. So I'm just going to do this. And so what this allows me to do is, instead of passing the string here, I can just pass the actual class or discriminated union value instead. And then the button, do summary info name, and then pass the, this is now summary info. Boom, that works. Now we need to pass the dispatch here. So the dispatch is the dispatch we got out from the store initially. So you'll see in a second. I'm just going to pass the dispatch everywhere where it doesn't compile. For a little bit until I get it. And so here, that summary info message. Oh, I didn't pass it the I didn't pass. I need to pass it here. Everything should compile. How does that compile? I don't know. Okay. This is good. So let's see what we have here. If I open up the page, when I click it changes. That's good. We do have this like blue around, but I don't care for now. Just going to let that slide for now. So we should probably commit at this point. We did a lot of things. So now we want to add the box below. Let's check out this. Alright, so Bulma actually has a table construct we can use. Well, it's basically some CSS classes to make tables, look cooler, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and use that, and basically we're gonna have a table class, and then we're gonna have t-heads, t-foots, t-bodies. Let's see if there's CSS classes on each of these, or no. So we only have to put a class on the table itself, and all of the other things will be good to go. We'll probably like add some styling for each of the elements. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is inside the, I should probably split up this main thingy. We should probably do a summary module, because this main thing also contains the taskbar or the menu. So it can get kind of confusing. So let's do module summary page, and basically all the stuff that's relevant to the summary page, I'm going to put it there. Yeah, in this case, this is going to be the summary content view, so I'm actually going to rename that. And then the section, this is actually the part, so I'm just going to bring everything to the other module. I'm going to open Bulma here. And here we're going to go and we can actually call this content view, because the summary page is going to be documented with the module name. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the table. So it's going to be let positions table. It's going to be equal to, we're going to have a table element. Or actually, is there a Bulma table? There's no Bulma table, so I'll go ahead and create that. Alright, so I created my table here, and I don't think I'm going to have. I can always add more stuff to the Bulma table, like if I want a specific CSS class. For now, it's not going to be necessary. So it's going to be a Bulma, or it's going to be a table, I should say. So a Bulma table. It's going to have many children. So let's just put it here. So where does this go? Actually, it would go here. So it would go under the level. And this would depend on what's the selected pane. So we can have a function that will determine based on the selected pane store. We can have a function that will give us the correct table or the correct view, right? So let pane is equal to function if it's the positions, we're going to give it the content view. No, not the content view, sorry, the positions table. Else we are going to give, or for balances I should say, we're going to give text not done yet. So we're going to pass this function and we're going to bind on this observable. So we can do bind either bind fragment. So we're going to use fragment. So fragment is like a list, one or more elements. So bind fragment, and we're going to bind on the selected pane. And then we're going to give it, actually we don't have to give it anything, we can just do pane here. I should probably call it differently. Get pane for selected pane. Yeah, the naming is pretty bad. Get view for selected pane. I should really change the word pane here, but get view for selected pane. And so if I click on balances, not done yet, but on positions I get my empty table, so that's good. See how beautiful that is, so simple. Well, it might not be simple if you're new to this, but it works pretty seamlessly. And let's see what gets re-rendered. Actually, we'll do it after. No, let's do it now. So if I open up the thingy here, the DevTools, let's see what changes. Yeah, so it's really cool to see this getting re-rendered, like the very minimal things it has to do without a virtual DOM and without like direct JavaScript manipulation. When I mean direct JavaScript manipulation, we're not going like document node dot add attribute or something like that, or change it to child. So that's pretty cool to see. It's gonna be even cooler once all the prices change and stuff like that. So that's nice. So now we can actually do the table now. So the table, there's going to be, I'm actually going to pull up the documentation. I haven't done a HTML table in a little bit. So I'm only going to have a header according to my well-designed thingy here. So symbols, price, open quantity, open PL. So these are going to be, this is going to be a row with a bunch of headers. I might use some abbreviations for open PNL or open quantity. So let's go ahead and do that. So we need a T head, and the T head has no attributes, but it has children, so it has a T row. So now I'm going to have a list of TH. It's going to be TH then just going to put a string here, so text. It's going to be called symbols. And then I'm going to have another one. Oh, I should actually copy this. This is going to be price, open quantity. To be honest, I'll just put quantity and I'll put an abbreviation. So I'll do this for now, but ABBR, no. So if there's a missing element, you can just do EL and put the name of the element and then the thingies, the properties. So in this case, we're going to have title or attribute. It's going to be called title, and it's going to, what's the other thing? Oh, value and object. So our title is going to be quantity. So I'm pretty sure that will work, hopefully. And then we'll do another one like this because our last one is open P&L. So we'll have the chance to specify what P&L means. So here, th, ABBR, title is, oh, I misspelled quantity. And here it's going to, or I should say open quantity. And this title is going to be open profit and loss. And it's going to be called open P and L. Alright, so let's see what I have thus far. Well, that's pretty good. I do want this to like stretch out. I'll do it later. So this is our header. So let's separate this header here. So let table, I don't have to specify table header because we're in a function that's called positions table. And it's not a function for now, just a value, but it's going to eventually be a function once we pass the data to it. Our header is going to be equal to this. Alright, so we have our header. Then we're going to have rows for each of the positions we have. So we probably should define what positions we have, or what are our current positions. So let's do that.
All right, hopefully you enjoyed that. I really did. And in next video, we're going to be looking at modeling the types. So modeling the types of our portfolio or our account summary. And so really excited for that. So if you're excited for that, make sure to subscribe for more videos, like, and comment down below for the algorithm. It really, really helps me out. And if you're interested in F# freelance software development and consulting, you can contact me at my website down below. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in that next video. Peace!